Hi, this is Calandra. In this video, we will discuss how to deal with fractional exponents. So if you have something raised to a fractional exponent, the denominator of your exponent represents the index of your radical. So this is equivalent to saying that we're finding the nth root of our base a, and then the number that's in the numerator is what you're raising that entire radical expression to. Okay, so this is the same thing as if you said the nth root of a, and you can raise a to the nth power. I think typically when you're trying to evaluate, this first expression is the most useful, so it's the one that I usually use, but just know you can write it either way. So in this example, we want to simplify or write with positive exponents. So in part A, notice the 9 is being raised to the 1/2 power. The negative is not, because we don't have -9 in parentheses. So this is the same thing as -1 times 9 to the 1/2 power. So since I have a fractional exponent, I know I'm dealing with a radical, and the index of my radical is 2. Okay, then I'm going to have 9, and then this is all just raised to the first power. So we don't really need to write that, but I'm going to, just to make sure you're clear on how this relates to our definition here. When you have an index of 2, this is the same thing as the square root, or it is the square root. With the square root, we usually do not write the index. So we can rewrite this as -1 times, and we just have the square root of 9. The square root of 9 is equal to 3. -1 times 3 is just -3, and that's our answer. Okay. So now when we look at part B, but let me make one comment about this. So the reason why the square root of 9 is 3, it's because with an index of 2, it means you're looking for the number that when you multiply by itself 2 times gives you the radicand, the part that's under the radical. So I know 3 times 3 is 9, hence the square root of 9 is equal to 3. You want to keep that in mind when you deal with an index that might be higher than 2, because you'll have to think about that a little bit more since they're not as commonly dealt with. So here, since we have something to the 1/4 power, that means that we want the 4th root of that quantity. So the 4th root of 256 divided by 625. And then since the numerator is 1, you don't have to write this, but again, I'm doing this just to make sure you're comfortable with it before you start dropping off steps. We have all of that to the 1st power. So we're trying to figure out what is the 4th root of 256 over 625. When you're dealing with radicals, in this case, if you have the 4th root of a fraction, this means we're finding the 4th root of the top divided by the 4th root of the bottom, 625. So we're looking for the number that when we multiply it by itself 4 times gives us 256 for an answer. And that number is going to be 4. In the denominator, we're looking for the number that when we multiply it by itself 4 times, it gives us 625 for an answer. And that number is 5. Don't hesitate to use your calculator to help you with these calculations if you need to.